welcome to Positive Not Negative. Today we want to talk about something that a group of us discussed over the weekend. I happened to go over to a friend's house and they had the TV on, the ball games were on, so we were watching some of the college basketball games, March Madness. And they also put on some March Madness in regards to the women's basketball tournament. And one of the women that was there made a statement that who do you think would win? You think the men would beat the women in college basketball? And I was a little dumbfounded myself when it was asked, but she was totally serious. So, you know, we stayed polite and all that. There were a number of us, and some of them said, oh, I don't know. I mean, it'd be a good game and all that. And then they asked me specifically. I said, I don't even think it would be close. I don't know if the women would score half the points that the guys got. I don't even think they'd score half. I think a good high school basketball team, not the best, but just a good one. I'll give you a little example. When one of my boys played on a recreational league, not even a high school league team, and there are 8 kids on the team. 4 of them could dunk the basketball. 4 out of the 8. We only had 8. You have in college basketball, I think you have one woman. Maybe there's more. The woman that's on Baylor, I don't remember her name. She can dunk the basketball, and I guess she's done it a couple of times. But you look at the high school teams. Look at I watched a little bit of the modern day basketball game. They've got kids that are 6'7", 6'8", 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'10". You know, they've got these kids that are really big. The woman on Baylor is 6'8", and she's supposed to be this towering figure in women's basketball, and she is, and she's good. She's quite good. However, there's one of her, and she's not even as good as I was stating, the kids in high school. You have kids in high school that are 6 feet and shorter sometimes that dunk the basketball. You have all types of boys that can jump and dunk the basketball. And that's not what basketball is all about. But the boys are going to be quicker. They're going to jump higher. They're going to be faster. They're going to be physically stronger. It's not a put down of women, it's just the way that it is. And all I'm doing today is we're going to be talking about immigration, we're going to be talking about equality, we're going to be talking about a number of things and hoping for your reactions out here. And this is one we want a reaction to. Are we wrong? I mean, a number of us, I actually had a couple of gentlemen come up to me and say they agreed with me, but they don't dare say anything because they will have, you know, what to pay when they leave. And I thought about that, and I said, because this is what I said. One of the videos that I did was about how we're being politically correct, how we can't say what we really think or believe. At least we won't be accepted as respectable, decent human beings. For instance, if somebody disagrees with gay marriage, what are they going to do? People are going to lambaste them, even though they might have a good reason, not based on any kind of hatred or anything like that, just based on the fact that we don't believe that that's what makes marriage 2 men or 2 women. Just as playing basketball with a football, you wouldn't still call it basketball. We would call it a different name, even if you have all the same rules. We don't have a problem with equality in regards to life. I'm getting on a tangent here, so I'm going to stop. But my point is that when these gentlemen, a couple of them came up to me and said, they're not going to say anything because they will have hell to pay when they get home. I said, so you can't talk about reality with your wife? And they said, no. And that's just where we are. I've noticed it. I noticed it in the classrooms when I went through college many years ago. And I noticed it in my place of work. You can't really say what is, because if you do, you're going to be the one that's looked at as the person that's wrong, even though what you're saying is correct and what the other person is saying is wrong. We can't question their abilities. And that's the same thing here. This woman brought up the question, and I guess it would have been better if I had just said, oh, I don't know, and not said a word. But number one, I can't. I'm just not that way. But it's not meant as a put down. I'm not going to be. Nobody's going to look at me and say you're going to be the next great offensive lineman in the NFL Pro Football League. Obviously, I'm not going to be. That doesn't mean that you're being mean to me or hateful or anything like that. Just as I'm not being hateful when I say this. It's just, it was an interesting question. It's something I've actually brought up before. One of these times I'd like to talk about the Billie Jean King-Bobby Riggs match, which I do know quite a bit about. And that's another one of those battle of the sexes. And just a quick thing I'll point out about that. Billie Jean King was in her prime at the age of 27, 28. Bobby Riggs was 55. That would be like Djokovic, the #1 tennis player right now, playing Billie Jean King now. I don't know if she'd even get a point. That's just the difference in regards to the ability, but the age difference would really work against Billie Jean King, just as it did with Bobby Riggs. But that's another story. So, if you have any things, any thoughts on this? Do you think that the women's basketball in college, the college women's teams, would they be able to compete with the men's college teams? My belief is that a good high school basketball team would beat the women's, and that's not meant as a put down. It's just a fact of life. We are different. We are built different. Biology has something to do with that, and as a result, it just makes certain groups of people better at certain things. All right. If you disagree, by all means, let us know. If you agree, by all means, let us know. But there's no hatred here, folks. Once again, you don't have to attack. This isn't a put down of the other gender. That's not the intent here at all. Once again, have a great day, and remember, always be positive, not negative. Thank you.